How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Creator's Process. As you know, my name is Jaden, and right next to me I have Halle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
How are you?
I'm very good. A little bit tired, but I think we'll talk about that before. I was like, oh, I need my coffee right now.
Mm-hmm.
But did I pronounce that right? Halle?
Yeah.
Awesome. I was like, because I was having that moment going, don't say it wrong, don't say it, no. It's like, but I want to say, first of all, thank you for joining me today on the channel to talk about what you do as a creative. I really do appreciate you taking the time to do that.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, that's okay, that's alright. So I guess that's the first question. For people who don't know what do you do with yourself when it comes to the creative arts? As you know, what would you say you are?
So I'm sort of a bit of everything, but at the moment, so I'm studying uni, and at the moment I'm doing printmaking, so a lot of screen printing, stuff like that, and it's sort of centered around, long story short, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. Was taking the pill for that, then got a blood clot in my leg, had to stop taking that, then it was a process to then sort of deal with all these hormones and everything, and then I got the IUD put in, and there's a lot of art around the IUD and like deitizing the IUD, stuff like that, because it felt like it was my last option, like my only savior sort of thing.
Wow, I'm sorry about that. Like that's sorry that you had to go through that, but like I have realized that through. Because, you know, I've seen a few of your artworks with, you know, and then you were at the Fitzroy Collective selling your prints and stamps, and they were really, really awesome. I love the way that you've kind of like, in a way, something that has impacted you, obviously, really hard. You've created, in a way, like something, I guess you could say positive, something creative, something an artistic, description of like something that, you know, is quite personal to you, and I think that's really awesome, like really, really cool.
Thanks.
And how long ago did you begin that journey? I guess like because you said that you are a printmaker and you're studying at uni, like how long ago did you start printmaking?
Well, in 2020 I moved from Horsham, Victoria to Melbourne, and then like I had been taking the pill for a while because I had really bad acne as like a teenager, and sort of as soon as I hit like 19, 20, it like went bleh. My face
out
was
of control,
terrible. So I was taking the pill for that to deal with, because it was like hormonal acne, and then I needed to get a script refilled, and I just went to like a random doctor in Hawthorne at the time, which is where I was living. And she was like, I think you might have PCOS. Let's do these sort of tests and see if you do. And yeah, I did. I had cysts on my ovaries.
Oh, ouch.
And getting that checked is such a weird procedure. Like if you get like it's like an arm thing with like a little knob on the end, and it goes up your uterus.
Ooh.
Up your vagina.
Sounds very comfortable.
Yeah. So the entire process was quite invasive, but it was good to know that there is obviously something wrong with me, but there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm just gross. You know what I mean?
I think that's always a plus.
Yeah.
And because what did you say? It was PCO.
So it's polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Wow, bit of a tongue tie, that one.
Yeah. PCOS.
And so it's, as you were saying, it's a cyst in the ovaries.
Well, yeah, cysts grow on your ovaries, and that then messes with the hormones in your body.
Wow.
So that can it can cause depression because it messes with those sort of hormones. You get hormonal acne. It usually spikes progesterone, I think it is, which is like a testosterone sort of hormone, which then like you can get like male pattern baldness, grow facial hair, you tend to gain a lot of weight around your middle, which is what happens to me. What else is there? And because I have PCOS, I'm automatically pre-diabetic. So it messes with your insulin as well. So I have to take like diabetic medication to stop myself from becoming diabetic.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm really sorry about that. That sounds like it would be quite hard, going through that, and it's just quite a handful.
Yeah, I find it funny when people say that because literally I know no other thing, so this is just very normal for me. So I find it weird when people say they're sorry, because it's like, I don't know, just my life.
I guess it's kind of like, when people hear from me, like, I'm on antidepressants, and they're like, oh shit, I'm really sorry, and I'm like, that's just me.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a bit of it becomes like a bit of a normal, like, because you said how long ago did that begin? Like, how many years ago was that?
Oh, well, I've had, like, really, really heavy periods and painful periods since I started having menstruation.
Yeah.
And then I had, like, the signs of it was, like, heavy period, and then really bad acne. So that's sort of just been a normal thing for me.
So it's been like just a while, it's been building up to, what it's ended up being, unfortunately, to what it is now. And like, I'll ask you, so when it comes to, I guess, your art, like, so what was the, like, I guess, inspiration into going into this creative direction when it was your printmaking of, like, what was, I guess the trigger for you to go, you know what, this is actually something I would like to do as an artistic expression?
Well, it's sort of a weird, convoluted way. So at the start of 2021, I was studying the Advanced Diploma of Visual Arts, and we had a task at the start where it was like you got an object, a colour, and a quote. And my object was a tea bag, my colour was the colour purple, and my quote was, poodles can be neurotic but they're quite loyal, or something like that.
Interesting quote.
And I don't know why, but my brain went to, so like in the 1800s, women would be diagnosed with hysteria, which is just like a general term for anything basically.
Yeah.
They just sort of downplay things that happen to women. And like hysteria, I think it's I can't remember the exact word, but I think it's hysteria or something like that, refers to the uterus.
Oh, okay.
In
I didn't know
Latin,
that.
I think.
It's interesting.
And then they had to do 3 artworks to do with that, and it sort of morphed into how women don't get believed when medical things happen. So, and that was personal for me because I had gallstones.
Oh, wow.
And went to the doctors heaps of times having gallstone attacks in horrible pain. Like, gallstone attacks are on par with getting kidney stones.
Oh, and they are painful.
Very painful. Very, very painful. And a few doctors just palmed me off. And one doctor I remember specifically, he said I just have acid reflux. While I was at 5 a.m. most nights, keeling over in pain, vomiting sometimes, for like hours on end.
That does not sound like acid reflux.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, no. It's like, I'm sorry, it's like, I'm not a doctor, but like,
yeah,
that's definitely not that.
And then sort of jumping off from those artworks, I went on to sort of wanting to depict more plus size PCOS sort of bodies in fine art. So it's like taking like very famous nude paintings and then either like photoshopping them to be more plus size and then trying to paint that.
Oh.
Or then just mushing a few together to make it seem like so what I did was, the Birth of Venus?
Of course, yeah.
By Sandro Botticelli.
Yeah.
I took some images of plus size women and I photoshopped that all together to make my own version of that, and then I painted that and that was one of my final artworks for painting last year.
That's so interesting. Like, it's something very different. You're gonna have to show me that. That's actually really interesting.
I'm very happy with that painting. It turned out very well.
What did you end up calling it?
I think I called it Fertility.
Great name. Because
I also did mention having PCOS, you might be infertile. So it doesn't. I can't remember what it exactly does, but it can cause you to be infertile, so you can't actually have children. Which I thought was an interesting juxtaposition with Birth of Venus, because she's the goddess of fertility.
Yeah.
And then depicting her as a PCOS woman. It was very interesting.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Like, it's just first of all, it's like I said, I said sorry again about that, but like I love that. As I said, I think one of the things that really stands out is that you're taking, as I was saying before, your experiences of what it's like to be in, you know, the situation that you're in, and kind of creating. It's something beautiful out of it, you know, like just creating, like, you know, the way that sometimes I explain with art is like, you know, taking this negative energy and creating something beautiful and positive out of it. You know, that's what we sometimes do as artists. And, you know, and I love that you took something like, you know, the Birth of Venus and kind of twisted the formula on its own and then created an artwork depicting what you wanted to try and do. I think that's really interesting. And I guess like so your main areas of like technique and all that, so it's mainly printmaking, or is it like what is
because I split up the advanced diploma into 2 years because I didn't want to have to do printmaking in lockdown again. And that happened last year because I can do painting at home very easily. Printmaking at home was horrendous in 2020 when I did just the diploma. So last year I was more focusing on painting, and then this year I'm more focusing on printmaking because that's what I'm doing in my elective.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's depending on like right now what you're focusing on each year is kind of like what your technique you'll be using. Yeah,
and because I literally do not have the time to do a painting that is not for my assignment.
Been there, done that. Been there, done that. It's but yeah, I guess in a good way as well. It shows like it gives you a bit of a feel of like what you might be comfortable with, because you might go away from this diploma and go, actually, this is what I feel comfortable with doing now. So it's kind of good that you're kind of getting a feel of each like medium of art, because then you can go, actually, I feel comfortable doing this, you know, and I think this suits my style, you know. So in a way, it's a good.
Just at the moment, I'm very, very intensely into printmaking.
Yeah, amazing.
I spend all my free time making designs for it, and then all my time at uni printing it. Amazing.
I love that. And I guess, you know, talking about, because like the artwork that I recently saw when you were at the Fitzroy Art Collective, it was this very beautiful art where it was, I'm trying to, like, you've created with the ovaries a heart, like, and that
was meant to be a play on Jesus' Sacred Heart.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
right.
Catholic symbol where it has like the heart with the fire coming out the front.
Yeah.
And the cross on the top. Yeah. Where I flipped it around, turned the heart into a uterus, and then the cross into an IUD.
I love that. And like, was there? And I'm guessing that was on the same themes of like what you've been doing and creating it.
Well, more recently, apart from the painting, I flipped over to, because I got that blood clot in my leg from taking the pill, so I couldn't take the pill anymore. And then my only really other option to deal with these hormones and to stop myself becoming pregnant, because I'm terrified of that, was the IUD, which is, if anyone doesn't know, it's a little T-shaped device that gets put up inside your uterus and it sits there and it leaches is not the word I want because that sounds terrible, but it leaches out hormones to balance what's going on in there, and also to stop, so I think it like thickens the mucus and might irritate the cervix, so it's harder for sperm
Oh,
to
okay.
get up there as well, which is not really what I'm more worried about. It's more the hormonal
Yeah,
sort
of
stuff.
course.
But
Of course.
that it took 10 months after getting the blood clot in my leg to actually get the procedure done.
Wow.
And then in that time, oh my god, my periods were so fucking heavy.
Oh gosh.
It was
I'm sorry. That's awful.
really bad, but they weren't that painful.
Wow. Gosh. Jeez. You've left me a bit speechless. It's but
yeah, it's very intense, but
yeah, like I think it's really like I think the other thing I was going to say that really stands out is kind of you're making a bit of, in a way, awareness of this. Like you're bringing
well, that
to light.
is also what I'm trying to do as well.
Yeah, like you're bringing light and kind of like, in a way, like normalizing conversation about it, you know, because sometimes, you know, these things can be very hard to, you know, like especially medical conditions, like all these things that sometimes people have to live with, and you're just trying to bring to light your situation and go, well, you know, yes, unfortunately this is my life right now, but, you know, it's a topic that, it's a conversation that I don't mind having and actually putting into something as personal as art. And I think that's really, really awesome that you are creating, you know, stuff that you like to bring light to it. And yeah.
As terrible as some of the stuff that I deal with is, it gives me a lot of ideas. Like I was a little bit worried when I was going to get the IUD put in that I'd run out of ideas because I haven't got that build up anymore to getting it put in. I'd just be like, it's done now, I've got nothing to do, but still going on, still ideas are coming through.
Absolutely, and that's what we want as creatives. It's like always producing ideas. But I think, you know, the saying goes, once a creative, always a creative. So we're always going to be creating. Like, I guess, you know, as a final question, but like with talking about, you know, with some, you know, saying how you've still got more ideas that you'll be exploring into, like what are some of the, I guess, topics or artworks or things that you're wanting to explore into, like later on in the future?
I don't know. I think I'm trying to milk this IUD looks like a cross thing as much as I can. I honestly can't think of anything else at the moment, so that's all I can focus on. I don't really have any other plans for anything else at the moment.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, like, but it's such a unique, like, because I remember seeing it on that night and it was very different. Like, it's very different, but then there was something very beautiful about it. It's just, and very creative. And so, like, I think, I mean, why not? Like, go for something that you feel like, and then also if you have you know, because sometimes as a creative we have, like, when we create a specific work, we grow very attached to it, like, straight away, and we're just like, I don't think I'm done with that yet, you know, like, because sometimes, you know, as you know, as a creative, we create something, and then we're like, okay, I've done that. Sometimes we go, move on to the next one, but then there's sometimes those specific artworks where we're like, I don't think I'm done with this yet. I'm gonna, you know, just keep this close to me.
Yeah.
You know, so it seems like with this one, you still feel like that you can do so much more with it. And I'm excited to see what else that you will be producing from it. It's gonna...
Yeah, I should actually post a lot of the stuff I've done. I
Yeah.
haven't actually. I've done like a lot of prints, and I haven't posted any of them to my Instagram, which is not good.
So like, social media is very hard to do.
Terrible
sometimes.
of social media.
We can all be like that. I'm sometimes am as well, like that as a creator. And but like I want to first of all wish you all the, like, how many more years of your diploma do you have left?
Well, because I split it into 2 years, this year is the last one.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks. I think I'm gonna go on to the Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Nice.
And probably study printmaking more, because I literally cannot get enough of it at the moment.
Why not? I mean, if you enjoy it, then do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you can really ask for. I think that's amazing. And well, I want to wish you all the best with the rest of your diploma, and then, you know, going on to your bachelor degree. That's really exciting. And definitely let me know when you're presenting more artwork in the future, because I would love to come and see some more incredible work. And that's okay. And
I do have, because part of my advanced diploma, we do have a graduation exhibition at the end of the year.
Okay.
You can come to that if you want to.
Absolutely. When will that be?
I think, I can't remember the exact date now, which is terrible. But it'll be at RMIT, so building 94 in the city.
Definitely send me a link to it and I will try and get there. Because I would love to come and support you.
Thank you.
No, that's okay. And once again, I want to say a huge thank you for taking the time to come over and talk on the channel. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it as well.
Oh, that's okay. And for everyone watching at home, thank you for tuning into another episode of The Creators Process. If you want to check out Halle's really amazing work, I'll leave links to everything down below. Go support her. Absolutely incredible artist. As I was saying before, amazing, just phenomenal. So go and support her. As I keep saying, let's keep supporting an amazing community. Go to exhibitions, go to shows, pay for art. We have the power to help each other out. Let's keep making our community amazing. Melbourne's got an incredible community, so let's keep supporting it. And comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode.